Hello everyone and welcome back to Paris Crochet Flow. My name is Paris and I am here to do something I haven't done on this channel before, because I'm going to be recording myself making a possum from start to end. I have a timer going already for 1 hour. Probably it has been going for 3 minutes now, so I'll go ahead and start. The only part I'll say is that maybe I'm cheating because I already have the paws made. I have the paws made and I am using a pattern by Shield Maiden Crochet. I may not put the paws on video. I'm going to probably be talking to you on and off, but I want to see how much I can make within the 1 hour, if I can finish one possum. I had a few possums that sold, so we are going to be making a possum together. So if you have a pattern for a possum, grab one. If you have a project, grab your project. Grab a drink. I have my wine. I hope it's not going to distract me. Cheers. And I'm going to be using my hook size. I'm going to use 4 millimeters just because I have used 5 millimeters with this yarn before, and I'm using the baby snuggle yarn by Hobii, and also I have this yarn I haven't used before. It's baby bee adorable or something, adorable. It's by, I believe I got it from Hobby Lobby. So let me start because my timer has been going. So I'm going to I have my pattern here. You can't see anything because I printed it pretty small, and anyway I can share because it's a paid pattern. Again, it's by Shield Maiden Crochet, and I am going to start now. So let me know what you're working on. Grab your project and let's start. Whether it's a heart you're making or your own ongoing project, I'm just going to start the nose with the pink. I won't say anything about because again it's a paid pattern. So if you would like to make it, go ahead and buy from her. Let me know if you've ever made a possum and what you think. The one thing I know is that I have made a few possums using this pattern by Shield Maiden Crochet, and right now I don't have any possums in storage, so I know they all sold out, and that's why I like making them, because I know they are likable. So I enjoy making them because they are a quick make, but also they sell very quickly. So I have already done row 1 and now row 2, and I am changing color to cream, and I am going to be making row 3. So I may not chat with you here. I hope you're enjoying making your own project. So I'm going to make my row number 3. I probably need a stitch marker because I'm talking and working. It may not be the same as when I work all alone. I think these videos are fun though, when there's a crochet and chat and we get to see a project from beginning to the end. So I decided, why not? I'll try with my possum, because the whole week I've been saying I want to make a possum, but I haven't done it. probably slow anyone down when working on a project, but those projects with color changes are usually some of the most beautiful. Although they are intricate to make, they do give a very nice finished product. So I don't mind color changes. The only thing is that some of the yarn can be so fluffy, especially the chenille yarn. So every time you cut the yarn, there's fluff flying. So my clothes, I'm used to that now. I go with fluff everywhere. Let me know what you think about chenille yarn. I know I forget her name, Kate, was talking about chenille yarn, and at first I don't think she liked chenille yarn, but maybe she tried it again and now she might have a different opinion. But I find that with chenille yarn, it all depends on what which yarn you're using. So I'm distracted here. I hope I can finish my possum in the hour. So I'll stop talking too much. Let's just work on our projects, and I'll catch up with you when I finish my color changes. Time for another color change. I hope you're still with me. And as you can see, I usually use just a different color of yarn to mark my beginning or as a stitch marker, but also I do have stitch markers. Sometimes I use them, but most of the time not. So I'm going to change my color now to the main body, which is the gray one. So far I have used pink and cream. Hope that doesn't sell out the pattern. Sometimes, I'm sure you've seen possums, and they usually start with the pink and then cream. Sometimes when I don't have cream, I do yellow, but then it doesn't look as realistic as the cream one. So now I'm gonna use my gray, and I'll catch you when I'm halfway. I like to tighten this part of the beginning of the magic ring, just because sometimes it loosens up and then you notice that your amigurumi has a hole at the beginning of the magic ring. So that's the way I work with my magic rings. Sometimes they tend to go loose. So as you can see, I've made progress quite a bit. I have my pink, my cream, and my white, and now I am going to place my safety eyes. I usually get my safety eyes from Amazon, and I have way too many of them. Some of them don't really work. Some safety eyes have the back part that is so rigid it doesn't work. But what I found with some of this, and I'm going to attach a link down below, some of them are very nice because they are very safe. I find this one clicks very well. I don't know if you can see that. And they are kind of glassy. Oops, sorry. Kind of glassy, and they have a nice shine to them. So I tend to use this more often. So I'm going to put in my safety eyes. I like for the stitch marker to be at the bottom. So that's a good thing when the safety eyes click like that, because then you know they're intact, and in case a child were to play with the toy, there's no way. I can't even pull this out. so the eyes are pretty safe, I must say that. Some of them are not, so if you're making a toy for a child, I would say I would go for embroidered eyes, but some of these eyes are pretty safe, so you can mark what is safe and what is not, and that will be just fine. So now that my eyes are in, I'm just going to be, let me see, I have a few more increases to do, and then I can just work mindlessly. So all right, so now that I'm just gonna be working round and round, how about we talk a little more on what you think about chenille yarn. For me, what I find with especially Hobii yarn, sorry, I said I wouldn't be giving them a bad review. I find it sheds quite a bit, but I have found ways of working with it that seem to help, and one of it is using a smaller hook. Like for example, this is a size a weight number 6 yarn, and for me to be using a size 4, did I say 4? A size 4 hook that is quite small, but it makes the finished project quite nice, not as many holes, and once you put in your stuffing, it doesn't seem to be as bad as when I use hook size 5 or 6 sometimes. And I know that's a challenge with many of us who make amigurumis, is that we make amigurumis and once you do the stuffing, you can see your polyfill and it just becomes discouraging. But that's a challenge you can overcome by using a smaller hook. So every time you make amigurumi, remember that you can size down if it maybe the size of yarn calls for hook size number 8, you can always size down 2 sizes, so maybe use hook size number 6 or number 5, and that tends to help with when you put in the stuffing, it's not like poking through. The other thing with chenille yarn is I find that starting the magic ring is quite a challenge, because you start a magic ring and it breaks. So how to overcome that is by starting it pretty loose. So either make your first 6 single crochets very loose, or use a large size hook. For example, if the yarn calls for hook size 8 and you want to size down 2 sizes, then just use maybe 7 or 6.5 and see how, if that helps. What I find is that for me, mostly I begin most of my projects using 12 single crochets in the magic ring, which is quite a bit. For most people, they say that's too much, and I understand, but if you start it loose, it does work. And what that does is, when you start a project using skipping the 6 single crochets going to 12, then it doesn't have this kind of cone or a pointed end. So if it's a head, it's gonna be more flat than if you chose to start using 6 single crochets. So let me know what you think about starting a project using 12 single crochets in the magic ring, and what you think about using a very small hook. I know sometimes it does cause pain, just because you have to work your hands that much more if you use a smaller hook, but for me it's a small price to pay for a nice stuffed animal. My other question is, what do you think about making amigurumis using weight 4 yarn? I've really struggled with that, and I started making I bought a pattern off Etsy, and it was for Luigi and Mario, and I started using weight 4 yarn to make Luigi, and I only made the head and I gave up, honestly, because I found it took way too much time. And that's what I find with weight number 4, is it takes way too much time, even if you're making this, you know, like a small stuffed toy. So it wouldn't really make sense for you to sell that. I don't know what you think about that, but I can do that for gifting, because again, they are quite pretty when you use that yarn, and there are people who are used to working with that yarn. So power to you if you use weight 4 yarn to make amigurumis. I don't think I have that kind of grace. I just want to work on a small project that works quickly and I'm done. Although lately I found myself working on big projects, as you can see. That one I have shared before, the shawl, and I have made quite a few shawls and scarves, and I recently finished my Valentine sweater, which I'm going to be sharing with you in this channel soon. And that was a labor of love for myself, for sure, because I didn't know I would finish it. Became too wide, and I just thought I had to keep going either way, because I committed to making that for myself. And I just find that I make items to sell in the market, and I don't hardly make stuff for myself or for my family. So I'm hoping to change that. I can make a few more items to gift and more items for myself. That's just something I've been thinking about. So my possum is coming along really well. I just set my timer using Alexa, so whenever you hear my timer going off, then that will be it. But I think it might actually be way less than 1 hour, because it works pretty fast, like I said. And that's why I think if you would like, you can go support that maker. Her name is Shield Maiden Crochet, and she has very easy to follow patterns, and I enjoy making especially the possum. And like I said, if you do markets, the possums are quite attractive and they sell. Every time I brought possums, they've sold out. Not like I bring too many. Like I remember I had 2 small ones and 2 big ones, and right now I don't have any of them. So that much I can tell, they do sell. This is my last row where I work same stitches. So I'm going to take a break from talking to you, because then I'm going to be doing decreases and I need to pay attention to that. And I will catch you when it's time to seal my project. I hope you're enjoying this kind of video. I hope you're working on your own project, and I will see you when it's time to seal the possum. As you can see, my possum is coming along really nice, and it's been 26 minutes. That's how much I've made in 26 minutes. And now I am going to go grab some stuffing. I'm never ready with my stuffing. I'm gonna grab my stuffing and I'll be right with you, and for that we can take a sip. So as you can see, I have done most of my stuffing. I know there's various schools of thoughts about stuffing. It's either you stuff a little bit or stuff a lot. I usually put in quite a bit just so that it can keep shape, but that's where the size of your hook comes in, because then if you used a large hook, the stuffing is gonna be poking right out. But when I use a small hook, that's the beauty. I can stuff my toys as much as I like to keep shape, and that way even when you wash them they don't lose their shape. Or I don't know what your thoughts are about polyfill. I've been really thinking about it, because the more I use it, the more I tend to think it's probably not good for our health, but I would have to do some research on that. So I might actually start using more of my yarn scraps more than the polyfill, just because I've been thinking a lot about the small particles that tend to come off polyfill. But that's the story of another day. So I'm actually doing, I believe, my last decreases so that I can seal my possum, and it still looks like I still have some time. It's been 32 minutes on the at least that's what I can see on my screen. Could be more because I started the timer way before, so the timer might go off before it actually 1 hour, because I was kind of getting ready with the timer still going. So sometimes I do seal my toys by just crocheting decreases all the way, and this is what I'm doing. But now what I will do is I will crochet in my tail. Now I can take off my stitch marker, and I'm leaving a very small opening in the back, and that's where I'm going to stick my tail, whichever way I can do that, and just crochet it in. That gives me less sewing. So just stick the yarn in there. That way it becomes a no-sew pattern. The pattern itself isn't no-sew, but the maker doesn't tell you what to do. As long as it works for you, I think you can do whatever works. So my tail is in. I'm going to cut off my yarn. There. You can see it's the yarn is very easy to break. And now my tail is in. But what I will do now is take my crochet hook, and I'm going to hide this end into the stuffing somehow. So there, the body of my possum is finished. They are usually very cute. I really enjoy making them, and I've been saying I'll make some. So the body is done. The tail is in. Now I am going to be putting in the paws, and I told you I've already made the paws according to the pattern. I prefer making some of these pieces before I start the pattern, just because I don't like small pieces. So what I will do is I will just put in my I'll just put in my paws using a darning needle, and I have this nice container. The pattern does specify where everything goes, so just follow the pattern. But I've made this possum so many times, so I kind of know my way around it. So I'm just putting in my paws, and I'll show you when my possum is finished, and I'll tell you how much time we've spent making the possum, excluding of course the paws, because I'd already made them. I pre-made them. They are not hard to make. I'm not gonna say how they are made. Go purchase the pattern and support the maker, or go find a free pattern. I know there is quite a few on Ribra, and make a possum. They are pretty cute, and like I said, they do sell at the craft markets because they are pretty cute. One last thing I have to do is find a way of putting all those yarn ends into the stuffing, and I just use my hook, my smaller size hook, and I pick up the yarn ends and I pull them right into the toy until everything is all hidden. And I repeat the process for all the yarn ends. The ears, and I don't think I'm going to make those ears on camera, just because those are some of the parts I don't like making. And as you can see, it took me, right now we are at 45 minutes and the possum is finished, except the ears, which I believe I can make within maybe 5-10 minutes, and that will include putting them on. So there you are. So if I said I can finish a possum in 45 minutes, I would probably be correct, because if I wasn't talking to you, then that would mean I would have finished the possum and put in all the pieces that I need to sew on. So there you are. That's how much it takes to make a possum. At least for me, 45 minutes give or take. Sometimes I can do it within 30 minutes because again, if I wasn't talking, it would have been just go. My timer hasn't gone off. It's been 45 minutes. The video is probably not going to be 45 minutes because I'm going to edit parts of it where I wasn't talking to you. But yeah, 45 minutes, and between talking to you and making the possum, he is finished. And I'm just going to be making the ears, and I'll probably be sharing with you in one of my videos of finished objects. And he's pretty cute. Again, the pattern is by Shield Maiden Crochet. Go and support the maker. Bye now. Happy crocheting, happy making, and go make some possums. See you soon. Hello, I'm back with a finished possum, and my timer for 1 hour hasn't gone off yet. So I finished my possum within less than 1 hour. I think we said 45 minutes, and the ears are done. He is finished. So within an hour, one possum is done, and I believe we can even make 2 if we were not chatting. So there he is. Go make more possums. Happy crocheting, happy making, and just go with the flow. Bye now.